my welding rig tour. So this is my 2004 first generation Silverado Z71 four-wheel drive 1500 pickup. And I had a few people ask me a question: why did I pick this rig to turn into my welding rig? Why did I pick this truck to turn into my welding rig? Well, there's a few reasons why I picked this Silverado. The first reason is I'm a Chevy man. I like Chevy. I've been liking Chevy since I've been liking trucks. So I've always been a Chevy man. But um, and the older ones, I always wish there was this in there. And then another generation came out with which was the CK generation. I liked that generation, but then it had a few things that I wish would have had. But this generation was just the first generation of the Silverado. It kind of summed up everything else about the truck. Like it summed up Chevy to me hit real good with this truck and with this year model. They came out with a few different options. You have the 5.3, the 6.0, and I think it even come out with a V6. But um, the 5.3 and the 6.0 is excellent engines. I think that they was able to produce something that you could actually get some money out of. It could be a lifetime truck. It can be something you can use to kill several birds in one stone. And one thing I like about the Z71 edition, they beefed it up to make it pretty much close to a um, I made it close to a knocking on side of a 2500, or they made the HD version of it too, which gave it heavy duty springs, shocks, and stuff at the front and back. They kind of beefed it up some and put the bigger engine in it where you can have a version of a lighter truck, but that can tow heavier. And I think the payload on those are around 11,000, I believe. But mine actually is a 1500 that I beefed up. I just put heavy duty shocks on it. So I put heavy duty shocks on the front and back. I lifted up in the front and back. I think I put like a 3 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch lift on it. Put heavy duty shocks on the front and back. I probably spent just on my shocks and a little small lift that I put. I probably got like a little under $1,000 just in that, getting the shocks and the lift, the little semi lift I got. Um, then I actually put 20-inch rims on it and um, 10 ply tires. So I think that those are 35s. I got a good deal on those, but when I get ready to get some new ones, I'm gonna put 33s on it. The 35s was already used, but they was in good shape when I got them with the rim, so kind of won a good deal on them. So, but when I go get some more, I'm gonna put 33s on it. But with this edition, like I say, I was able to kill several birds with one stone because it's four-wheel drive, so it comes lifted up a little bit. And then this truck also have a leveling kit in the front, so you can actually, with this model, what they did, they made it where you can actually level the truck in the front without actually damaging the suspension on it. So, but when you do get a big lift, you want to go and get the proper lift on it because you don't want to be riding around and wheel come off and some crazy stuff happen to you. So I have seen several things happen, but I wanted to give you a little tour around it. Like I say, it's a 2004 first generation. I like the way they set up this model. To me, I think they did a few dope things. I like the style of it. Um, I like the room and the inside of it, and I like the beefiness of it. And like I say, that was one asset to me of the truck. It's roomy. I can kill seven birds with one stone. Um, Kind of got a lot of the mechanical things that you need to have in a truck. This edition actually have a business setting for your mouse. So for those who didn't know, if you got the first generation of Chevy, they got the business edition for the mouse, especially in the 2004. I don't know if it's in the first in the 2000 and 2001 when they first came out, but I know for sure it's in the 2004 because I got it in mind. So it got a business setting, so you can set it from personal to business when you're doing your jobs and your independent jobs. And to me, that was a plus. When, as far as keeping up with my mileage and stuff like that. This bed, I believe, is a 6.5 or 6'4", 6'5", something like that. Bed. So the bed got plenty of room to do what you need to do in it. Um, there's many good assets to this rig. And another reason why I picked this one was because I can go on and off road with the 4-wheel drive, and I didn't have to have a dually. I didn't have to have really a whole lot of weight. You know, when you're figuring out what you're going to do as an independent welder, one of the important things to do is figure out what are you going to do. Who are your customers and target? Who are you going to be helping? And that way it can help you set your rig up, because I started off with a dually, an older dually, and I beefed it up. I used it for a while until I was able to, and I sold it actually, and got this one. Well, actually, I didn't sell it to get this one. I got this one, and then I sold my dually later. But I realized that I didn't really need it for uh, the first reason why I didn't really need that dually, because it wasn't 4-wheel drive. And then once I figured out what type of clients and what type of jobs I want to do, I knew that I had to stay in my lane, and I wasn't trying to be a pipe rig welder. Now I am a pipe welder. I'm an AWS certified 6G welder, 60, 10, 70, 18. But I specialize in more commercial and residential and industrial repairs, and doing service calls and doing fabrication. So I do a lot of needed fabrication. So I realized what my niche was as far as repairs and what I wanted to do. So it made me come to the fact that, okay, I don't need this big welder. I need this welder. I don't need this big truck. I need this. And so I wanted to be able to kill several birds with one stone. So that was the main reason why I picked this truck. So let's walk around so I can show you some of the back part. And I had a few people ask me, why did I get the toolbox at the back? So a few people asked me that, man, why you didn't put your toolbox on the side over here or something, or over there, or, you know. So the reason why I have mine set up like this is because, as you see, it's clearance right here on this side. So I can run whatever I need to run on this side of it. And if I need to run something back here, which I don't, I just put stuff on that side, I can. So, but this toolbox gives me the opportunity to only take what I need. You know what I was talking about, as far as like, once you figure out your niche and you know what direction you're gonna go in as a welder, as an independent welder, as a mobile welder, or fabricator, or shop, or whatever you're gonna be doing. Once you figure out what you need, then you say, okay, I only need this type of box. And this box actually I got from Lowe's, doing, I believe they was doing the times when they was having a little sales. So I bought, I don't know, $250, $300 for this box. I like it because, one reason I like it, because my steel box is a lot heavier. This box is aluminum, it's lightweight, and it's not real tall, so it still sits under my bed. So I can actually have my bed cover on, and it'll go under it. Plus, I like the locking mechanism that it locks from the side, and that's a plus. So it's harder to get into and steal. So there's a plus having this one. And then, like I say, it's not heavy. So it doesn't give my truck a whole lot of weight, even though I tow my welder around. And I'm gonna get to the weight of that here in a second. But it gives me the opportunity not to have a lot of weight, but be able to kill several birds in one stone. So that's why I went with an aluminum toolbox. And like I say, it's black, so it went with everything. And if it wasn't black, I would have painted it black anyway. But it came black, so that was nice. So I built the welding skid on the back. That way, I just wouldn't have a regular welder on the back with all type of leads and bottles and stuff going everywhere. I've seen different welders and their rigs. Salute to everyone and how they do their thing. Everybody is different. I just want to have a more cleaner, a more easier approach when it comes to getting to the job. I wanted to have less time getting ready and less time leaving. I didn't want to spend 30, 45 minutes wrapping up, and I didn't want to spend 30, 45 minutes getting started. So what I did was I created a welding skid to kill several birds in one stone, and I'm now selling them. So I have them. I'm in Oklahoma City right now at the moment, so I will have a store here where I'm gonna be selling them personally, and I'm probably gonna, most definitely, I'm gonna be probably networking with a few other local shops that probably need the welding skid, but just haven't been introduced to it yet. And that's another thing too. When you have something good, you never know who wants it until you introduce it to them. So I came up with the welding skid to help me stay organized, as you see, and I found out that it helps a lot of people. So what I made was, the first, this is the actually the first prototype that was made that's close to the original one that I now sell. This one actually can hold 3 bottles, just in case you need to carry 3 bottles like your argon. But if you're only going around using 2, then you can just carry your 2, or you can just carry what you need when you need it. But the cool thing about this is I have everything set up and organized. So that way it's on a 4x4 frame. This one is, so it can fit in any truck, 1500, 2500, 3500. But you can pick it up with a forklift, and you can use a small crane and pick it up. And the cool thing about it, once you're done with it, you can pick it up off your truck, place it inside of your shop, like your garage or your shop. You place it inside of there, and you can utilize your truck for whatever else you need to utilize it for. And that's what made it an asset. And it also put everything together uniform. If I need to use my torch, everything is set up. And you can actually, the way this angle is and the way I got this set up, you can just put the head on and you can use the bottles like that, or you can swoop them in and stand them completely up. If you have a place that's real strict on OSHA, you can just set them up and there's no problem. It's still tied off. You got no issue. So I done been on both sites, mining sites. So I do have my mining. I am a miner. I have my 48 mining card, and I have my OSHA 10 mining card and my AWS certification card in my pocket. So I would say get your certifications and certs in the areas where you're going to be working at when you're using your rig. And in Arizona, I was around a lot of mines, so I did a lot of mine repairs and doing different things like that. So it was a plus having it. But here, being in Oklahoma City, the two that's really going to mean anything if I do outside work is my AWS and my OSHA. So, but back to the welding skid, as you see, you can mount your welder on the back of it. It's not an issue. This is a 225, but the 225, the 250, and the 305 or 300 by Miller or Lincoln, pretty much they all are close to the same dimension. As for size and width, it's pretty much close to the same dimensions. The way I set the frame up is you have a 3-inch bearing on either side, so you have plenty of room when you set it to get it how you want it set up on there. This edition is actually the deluxe edition. It comes with that extra tube, um, extra 2 tubes for your reels, and these are homemade reels that I made. Now I didn't figure out a way to make my own style, which later I'm gonna be showing some videos of my style of welding reels that I came up with. And this is just for the independent welder, welder getting out of school who don't want to spend a lot of money but want to have a solid product and a good look. Because when you look like money, I'm gonna be honest with you, you will make money. So it's good to put money into your equipment. It's good to make things look the best as you can, because it attracts money. It attracts other people who want to spend money with you. I have seen people who make money with their business. They got rigs and they look bad, but they still make money. But they probably could make more if they would just not. I'm not saying go all out, but just keep it organized. Keep it look like you can come to a person's place and you're not all over the place. Some people rigs, you can look at it and be like, man, he's all over the place. I don't want him at my property. He might have some stuff. I couldn't find anything. So a lot of that plays into part when you're getting bids and when you're getting just side jobs and contracts. I can't tell you how many people have walked up to me and gave me a card and said, hey man, let me know, man, if you can help me out on this project. I'm not even going to ask you if you know what you're doing. I can tell you know what you're doing by your setup. So sometimes actions can speak louder than words. So it's very good to have a nice setup on your welding rig. um, but then again, like I say, I set this one up to be, I use, actually, these are 3/8 air hose reels. Order these off of Amazon, so you can get some good air hose reels to make you some homemade ones. These are homemade. I use a 3-inch tube. I think that's an 1/8 inch tubing or 11 gauge, and I welded them on there, spaced them out, took a few things off of them to make them convenient, and switched everything up on the opposite side so I can be able to use it. They work well. These even come with locks on the side, so once you get your lead out where you want it, you can lock it. Man, that's a plus. And like I say, it's just simple things that works very well. I got a extension cord reel here, and actually